It is going live on Facebook, and we're live. Drop in the comments where you're coming in from. Tell me about your day. It is a beautiful day in Arizona. It's probably what, Chance? 65 degrees out there? 65. I'll take it. It's raining, and we were gonna be in the car on No Guts No Story. Then we were gonna be in the car on the corporate Zoom at 10 because 10 is 8 here, and then the ball game was starting at 9. And in my brain, I was like, "Get ready, call Dave. He's headed to the airport. Get on No Guts No Story. Get on the corporate Zoom. Get in the car." Run to the ball game, and all of a sudden the day just changed and the rains are coming down. And now they canceled the game, set up everything here in the apartment, and there's no natural light out there. It's pretty rainy and cloudy, so hopefully you guys can see me coming in good. And I'm excited to be here with you. So what a week, what a week, what a week. I honestly should just move away from the camera and hand it to Chance. And I'm thinking what the topic would even be, because our family has been so deep in the vortex, making things happen and co-creating the life that you desire instead of everything that life throws at you. I mean, the prayers that are being answered and the shifts that are happening and the miracles that we all take for granted every single day. Literal miracles. Like Chance and I were just on the phone with Dave. That's why I was running late, because we were like, can you believe the miracles that are happening every single day all around us? And we all take them for granted. And then we went down this whole memory lane where Chance had something pop up on his phone that was like holidays back in, what year was it? 2000. And like you go back to like 26 years ago. I mean, he would have been kindergarten, first grade. He would have been waking up with a holiday break and thinking about eating turkey and throwing the football or playing a video game, you know. And then 25 years later, there's like no Nana's house to go to, and there's no hanging out playing a video game. Like you're just having to make things happen every day. And you got to think about that inner child that you have deep inside of you that was like waking up, where it was just all fun and all love and all joy. And like, we're going to Nana's house and we're going to the football game, and the girls are going to have a dance halftime show. And like, I was wearing my team shirt, you know, I was decorating the Christmas tree or getting all my fall pumpkins out. And some of you, the miracles happening around you right now. Like you have 3 kids going 40 directions. Your house is trashed. Someone has a football game. Someone has a spelling test. Shout out Lola. Aced her spelling test yesterday for the 2nd week in a row. And only a few weeks ago, maybe her teacher was like labeling something that wasn't genius and wondering if she was really doing good and if she was smart. Do you know they co-created this girl that aces her test? That's the smartest girl in the class, that's crushing it because of preparation and belief and confidence and energy, because it's inside every single one of us. That A student is inside every single one of us. That beautiful girl, that halftime dancer that's in the front row, not the back row, that athlete that has a winning game. Last night, my daughter Brooklyn texted me and she goes, "Mom, Trey and Slade in this football game, my nephews are both seniors, haven't beat Norton at home in 25 years. They were undefeated until last week and lost by 1 touchdown. It hasn't ever happened in so many years." But do you know how that's happening? Let me tell you how it's happening. The parents, the town, the athletes, the spirit club. Like my sister's heading up a spirit club. You would think you were going to a K-State game. Those boys are putting together the energy before a ball game that is the prayer, the preparation, the belief, the discipline. They're visualizing that they are the champions. And when you think about this, there's universal laws that nobody really taps into. We all forget about the universal laws. We all forget about what it says in the Bible. We don't even go there. Here's what everybody's tuned into: Instagram, Facebook, CNN, Fox News. Who's blowing up on what brand, how many likes they got, what's trending. Like when you guys, if you really, really think about this, you have every single thing you need inside of you to feel good now, like right now. The way that you were created, and if you ever need your butt kicked, just sit down with my husband for like an hour and he'll bring you right back down to reality. Like he's not a big influencer. He's barely on Facebook unless it's a birthday or like something funny or a holiday, but he's so tapped in to energy, frequency, what's inside, what is really happening and what's imagined, and how the power of your mind and the thoughts that you have affect every single cell in your body. Emotion goes rushing to the organ that it's going to attack. I'll tell you something crazy. We did this deep DNA dive on a family member this week, and just emotional struggles, physical struggles, recovery, all kinds of things. And what none of you know is that you can literally test your DNA and see the organs that are being affected and failing based on trauma and emotion held in the body, whether a cell, whether an organ, whether you are going to live or die. I'm going to say this again. Every emotion that you have is attached to an organ, and your thoughts and emotions and the things that you experience day after day after day, what you say, what you think, what you believe, what you read, every thought's a prayer, every prayer is answered. You just don't know that when you're thinking it and saying it, you're getting more and more and more and more. This morning, my husband, as genius as he is, he calls me, "Good morning." And I'm like, "Good morning. It's 5:50 a.m. here right now. It's 8 o'clock where he is at that time." This was just 45 minutes, an hour ago. I'm like, I got to get ready for my call. And it was completely dark, kids sleeping, alarm going off to this upbeat music. And every morning that I wake up here at Chances, him and the girls wake up to this bum, 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 bum. And like, it's loud. And I'm like, how are they sleeping through that? But they wake up with such a high energy. It's like when my kids were at home, if we were waking up to a song like this one, I think it's called APT, but if we were waking up, it would have been like Party in the USA. You know, I'm sure you guys all remember that song where you just wake up and you're like, everybody is moshing in the kitchen or something. When I wake up at one of our business partners' house, and his kids are all like top tier athletes, like national champions, and like they're grooming them for success. They wake up in the kitchen, it plays "We Are the Champions" every morning. And I mean, what do you wake up to and what do you put in that makes you feel so good? This is what most people do. They grab their device and they're just scrolling. And it's like garbage in, garbage out, garbage in, garbage out. Like what you put in has to come out. This, I call this, the remote control, the automatic income reducer. And everyone hates on me for it. This week I was interviewed by the news. I was headed here. I was actually headed to Las Vegas. I had video editing and recording all week in Las Vegas for our onboarding, our welcome emails, our Black Friday specials. It was a long week. And my treat after the long week was coming here to help Chance move into a new home. And so I couldn't wait for like this moment, but leading up to it was like so much pressure and just back to back. Like I couldn't even call Dave or check a text. Kylie was like, "Hey, we got moved into our apartment in Spain." And 9 hours later, I'm like, "When do you think you're moving?" She's like, "Did you not get my message? Like we moved today." My life was that full all week. But do you know what? My energy was so high that when I went to dinner with Ross and his wife, who do all of our graphics, design, Instagram, Facebook, everything branded, with my kids that work with them to make our brand show up the way that it does, she was like, "How do I be like you?" It was 9:30 at night, which for me was 11:30. And we were going to dinner and they ordered this tomahawk steak. And I'm like, "Oh my God, you guys do not need to buy a $300 steak for me. Like, I don't need that. I'm good with like soup and salad." And they were like, "No, you're here. We want to celebrate." and we're at a casino, and I'm like, I don't even have any desire to go in the casino. Like, we're so locked in and loaded. And we're sitting there at the table, and they're like, we really should make a toast. Like, last month was the best month ever. And I'm like, yes. And we're just talking. And she's like, how do I have energy like you? Like, I want to be like you when I grow up. How do you do this at 11:30 your time when you got up at 2:30 a.m. our time and you're still going? And I'm going to tell you guys the secret to this. It is your energy. It's your frequency. We are human beings that are running on a vibration that's happening every single day. Today, Dave called and he's like, you know, the word human comes from the word hue, the hue of light. And I want you guys to think about this, because we are all a beam of light. We are all energy. We were created unlike anyone else on the planet. If you go to an airport, you just sit there watching people. None of the people look the same, because you're your own unique human being. Human being, like he said, a beam of light. And over years and years and years of things happening, that beam of light keeps getting dimmed and dimmed and dimmed and dimmed. And we don't show up the way that we used to as that little kid getting ready for Thanksgiving or Christmas or fall break. Yesterday, when Chance picked Lola up from school and it was fall break, it was noon. Like, I had Zooms planned until 3 because I was like, I'm going to do Zooms and work all day. And then when they get out of school, I'll be really present. Little did I know they were getting out at 11:30. But when she got out of school at 11:30 and she had 100% on a spelling test for the second week in a row, and just a couple of weeks ago, they were like, we may need to get some help in academics. Like, she's just struggling in academics. What was the difference? It was having a parent to say, you are so smart. You are brilliant. We're going to ace this spelling test. It's not hard. I'm going to tell you guys a crazy thing about it, though. I couldn't spell the words, and she's second grade. Have you ever heard of the word cupful? Just drop in the comments if you've ever heard the word cupful. Imagine missing a test. Somebody drop in the comments and don't look it up. How do you think you spell cupful? Imagine being labeled that you didn't know how to spell because you missed a word that's not even a word. I think about how hard it is for parents to even help their kids with their spelling, because I called Dave and I asked my daughter, and Chance and I were looking at each other like, how do you even use that word in a sentence? This second grade spelling word, cupful. I might say, is your cup half full or half empty? But I wouldn't say cupful. Like, I don't think this is a cupful. C-U-P-F-U-L, if you guys don't know, it's actually a word. And pinkish. Pinkish is a word too. Pinkish. That's a word you learn in the second grade. Just some crazy things. I mean, cupful is one L when you spell it. And this is second grade spelling. So I'm with her in the car yesterday morning, and it's morning and it's good. And I will say, have a great day at school. And some days she'll be like, Barb, how do you have a great day at school? It's school. Well, let me tell you why. Because she's creative. She's brilliant. She's very active. She's not the type of girl that just goes and sits in a chair all day and doesn't use her talent and her mind and her creativity and her spontaneity. Like, she is so amazing. But how many little kids are going to school with some teacher, and she's got a great teacher, but how many kids are going to school with a teacher that's not sewing into them, that's not telling them how great they are? Do you know her teacher told her, Lola, I can really tell that you've been studying. Like, you aced that spelling test. I can tell that you've been working really hard. Now, that little bit of a good teacher creates a belief system in a little girl that can go so far in so many areas of her life. I get to meet her teacher in a couple of weeks because she signed me up to be a room mom. And keep in mind, guys, I live 15 hours away, but I got a little background check sent to me to see if I could come do the fall party on Halloween. And I'm coming 15 hours because that's the dream, right? Like, that's the goal. But you got to think about who's molding your energy, your belief system, your confidence in your life. And some of you have been hanging around the wrong people for so long, you don't even know how to get out of that vortex. That's such a negative spiral. And so when you think about your belief systems, and don't be threatened to learn and explore about you, your mind, and yourself. I am a strong believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. There is no doubt about it. I don't care what you believe. I'm not pushing my beliefs on you. But anybody that knows me knows that girl's connected. Like, I couldn't do what I do for 1 minute if I didn't have my faith. There is absolutely no way. One thing that happened this year would have took me out. One thing that happened in the last 5 years would have took all of y'all out. And I had like 25 of them happen in 1 year. So I know I couldn't do what I do without my faith. But there are a lot of people out there that don't have faith because they've been pushed in a corner. They've been pushed in a box. They've been labeled. They've been judged. They've felt a certain way from someone that they thought had the light, right? So God is within every single one of us. You were born a miracle. From the time you were in your mama's womb and you were just a thought. I mean, you had to fight through 1 million cells to make it, and you did. And then you were born unlike anybody else on planet Earth. Anybody else. There's no other Barb Pitcock in the whole world. Some people are like, thank God. But there's no other you in the whole world. And the laws of the universe say that when you are born, you are energy. Your heart is ticking and it's energy. And when you die and they don't want you to die, what do they do to you? Let's think about this. Let's all agree on one thing. If you flatline today and they're like code blue and we call 911, what is the very first thing they're going to do to you? What is the very first thing they're going to do? Someone participate in the comments. You know what they're going to do. They're going to get out their little shockers and they're going to put energy back into your body. They are going to zap you and shock you as many times as they can until they say, we can't bring her back. So if you are energy and it's all about your heart, and your heart is the strongest muscle in your whole body. One day I had a doctor tell me that every 5 pounds of extra weight that I was carrying was making my heart pump blood like it was going to Hays, Kansas and back, which was 60 miles. So if I was carrying 5 pounds of extra weight, my heart had to pump the blood to Hays and back. It was a visual for me that I was like, oh my God. So if I'm 25 pounds over, it has to do 5 Hayses. When we used to travel with Nana Cindy to every event we ever went to and every sporting event or anything, they would be like, how far is it? 4 hours. How far is that? 8 Hayses, because Hays was a half an hour. And when you think about what you're carrying around, Dick Bolt says, I have my own personal zapper. Maybe I need one of those to carry around. When you think of everything you're carrying around, it's not just the weight that you carry around your waist, all the inflammation that you have in your body, but it's the baggage that you're carrying around. The stuff that you're carrying around that's happened to you, that zapped your energy, that brought down your hue. And you are human, and you are light. You are source energy, created like nobody else. And you want to feel good now, you just don't know how. Well, I'm going to tell you some of the laws of the universe. And when I think about that, I am going to have to grab my iPad. Chance, do you see my iPad? I think it's over there. Dave texted me this morning because he was reading. Like, he's reading, we're reading. I think Chance is reading like 3 books right now. I got a new one sent yesterday. And the thing is, if you're not putting good in and you're not filling up your heart and you're not getting that hue to be where it needs to be in order for you to feel good now, you're doing the opposite of that. So the laws of the universe, if I can find them in my messages from Dave. Dave, if you're watching, send it to Pitcock Marketing Gmail. One of the laws of the universe. Did he send them to you too, Chance? one of the laws of the universe was talking about your masculine and your feminine. And I'm like, it was gender. One of the laws of the universe was gender. And I told Dave, like, I'm not talking about gender on No Guts, No Story. He's like, no, it doesn't mean if you're a man or a woman or what you love or what you think you are. It's the feminine or masculine part of you, your personality, your soul, what you are. So growing up, I think I have been very masculine, having to have a million tasks, having to get it all done. I coped with the fact that I could work really hard and outwork everyone. It's how I would get recognition. I would set goals that were absolutely unbelievable and I would crush them because it's the way that I coped with trauma. I also grew up in a home where the way that you got love was acts of service. Like, I mean, I was the oldest of 5. So if I wanted them to love me, they better not come home to a dirty house with 900 socks that needed mated and a sink full of dishes and a yard that needed mowed, because my mom and dad were such hard workers. They usually got home like 11:30 or midnight. And some days they left at 5:30 or 6. They drove truck. And so I learned at a very young age certain belief systems that I took very seriously in my life. And every week, my grandma picked me up on Wednesday night for church, after school for Good News Club, on Sunday morning for Sunday school, Tuesday nights for missionaries. Like, there was a ritual that we went through. I was raised a little Baptist girl. And right across town was my other grandma that was Catholic. So if I went to her church, we went and we got down on our knees in pews and we recited things that were in a book. And if I went with my other grandma, we just opened up to whatever song and everybody stood. And, you know, it was different. It was so different. But let me ask you a question. Do you think that I thought that one was better than the other? Do you think that I ever worried that if I didn't do something the way that they did it, that I wasn't going to make it to heaven? Like, that never entered my mind, because as a young girl, it was all love all the time. I had a really strong faith. I believed that God was real, and I didn't worry a lot. But let me ask you, at what point in your life did you start to worry? And did you start to wonder, is it really real? Are good things really going to happen to me? What if I do the wrong thing? What if I believe the wrong thing? What if I get judged? Is this bad stuff happening to me because of I'm being punished? Like, did any of you ever like steal something when you were a kid and then you had a blowout and you were like, if I wouldn't have stole that bubble gum, I wouldn't have had a blowout on my car? What you sow, you must reap. This is just laws of the universe. What we sow, we're going to reap. What we put out, we're going to get back. I don't think that my God wants to punish me. I don't think that he wants me to have so much sadness and so much grief and so much anxiety and so much stress. I mean, he created me for greatness. He created you for greatness. You're the only person like you out there. But our belief systems that we start to take on and we give power to, they grow. What we think about grows. What we talk about grows. The seed we plant first becomes a thought, and then it festers and it grows and it grows and it grows and it grows. So when I think, when 2 or more are gathered and they are energy and they have a belief and they think, they pray, they act as if it's already happened, it freaking happens. And there are some people that manifest incredible miracles every single day. And there are some people, good couldn't happen for them if 45 people wanted it for them, because they won't get in that mode. So I can pray that you're successful for the rest of my life. I can give you all the training. I can show up every Saturday morning. But if you don't know that that's already inside of you and you don't believe it and you don't tap into your own source energy, God is right within you. He is the light that started your heart. He is the one that created you to be great. You are a miracle every single day. And you just take for granted that you even have breath. You even have breath today. You know, I am in a chat every night at 8 o'clock, and we pray for a lady that's just maybe like 5 years older than me that has a terminal cancer that a lot of people don't survive from. And most times it's like a month or two. But there's so much good energy in this chat, and there's such a belief every night, and there's such a prayer. It's every night at 8 o'clock. And every night when I get that text, perspective happens in my life. Perspective happens in my life. And every night I say, I don't have any problems because the girl that I'm praying for has a real problem. And it puts into perspective that no matter if 25 of you text me and said, you're a terrible person, you're late for No Guts, No Story, I didn't get my product, you didn't do what you said you were going to do, I don't like the way you dressed today, I think you're in the wrong political party, and I think you're a demon, I would be like, oh my gosh, everybody's beating me up. And you know what? When you're a CEO, some days you feel like that because the only calls you get are problems, right? I don't get those kind of calls because we have an amazing company. But how many of you have had days where your boss, your kids, your spouse, your neighbor, your mom, your ex, everybody's tearing you down, right? And even the customer that you just dealt with was like, you did a crappy job. But then you see someone on the side of the road that has no house, no car, no money, and they're begging for food. And you're like, at least I have a roof over my head and some food. It puts it into perspective. So when I get this text every night, let's pray together for her, what happens is my energy shifts and I have gratitude, and it puts things into perspective every single night. Now, the question that I have for you is, what is your perspective? Because the laws of the universe say what you put out has to come back. You are light. You're either vibrating at a high level and good things, or you're vibrating at a low level and bad things. And the reason we get to such a low level of vibration is trauma, grief, shame, guilt, beliefs that we take in our heart, our strongest muscle, and that heart gets weakened and it affects every organ in our body, and we're vibrating at a lower vibration. If I took you out on Chance's porch where it's raining, there is a $1,500 higher dose mat laying out there. And this mat is something that you can plug into the wall and you can turn it up to a certain frequency. He lays Baby Rose on it. He lays on it. When we're here, we all lay on it. Like everybody should be laying on a frequency mat, right? But maybe you would say, like, I would never spend that much on a frequency mat. But if your little girl was sick, you would. If your life depended on it, you might. If someone told you that you could change the frequency of your body, and if everything's vibrating at a higher frequency, you might live or be well. And if you didn't, you might die. You would change your philosophy really quick. Why we started the company Frequence was all about that. Having someone that we loved, wanting to see that person feel good, wondering what we could do with the mind, the body, the gut, the frequency, the vibration, to not only extend that life, but have a quality life of somebody feeling good. And that's you. That's me. That's Dave. That's my kids. That's my grandkids. That's people I haven't even met yet. I'm thinking about you. What is in this for you? So if I were just going to share with you a couple of laws of the universe that you should really think about. It doesn't matter what your teacher said in second grade. You are great. It doesn't matter what your spouse said or what your dumb, stupid brother-in-law or sister-in-law or someone that was hating on you said. Those little things get in your mind and they play like a broken record. And when I was growing up, it was a 45 album or a 33. A 45 album had one song on it. A 33 album had the whole entire album on it, right? Like Taylor Swift dropped a new album last week. I don't know what it's all about. Love her or hate her. The little neighbor girl, when I was checking on Callie and Darian's house, was off to the movies to see it. And she was home and she was so excited about it. And I don't even know one song that's on it. But I will tell you this. That album is playing in a lot of little girls' brains right now. They're listening to it. They're believing it. That energy is going. It's creating a belief system, right? Don't get started on who you love and who you hate. I don't want to see any hate in my newsfeed or my threats coming into these messages that she's good or bad, or you hate the Chiefs, or you hate Taylor Swift, or you hate Trump, or you hate Biden. Like, I don't do that in my newsfeed because that's really low energy. And you know what's amazing about me? I love everybody. One of Callie's spelling words was kindness, Kindness, with 2 S's, like necessity for all of you. We need kindness in the universe in order to get that back. We need to all be all love all the time, because love and authenticity is the highest vibration out there. And when you think about the laws of the universe, when you hold a thought and you're here on this plane called Earth, and when you die, your soul is going to leave your body, and heaven is there somewhere on a higher plane where all of these people are, where their souls left their body. I don't care what religion you are. When you die, your soul goes somewhere. Think about that. And all of this energy and the Holy Spirit that is all around me every single day, I literally feel, I can feel it every single day, because that's what I focus on. Good things are going to happen. There is going to be an anointing. Miracles are happening today. I literally feel, and I say this every day to my kids, my mom, my husband, I can feel her spirit every single day. It's like it's beating inside of me. And do you know what most people do? This is what most people do. They're gloom, they're doom, they're mad, they're sad, they're pissed. They want to argue. They want to tear down, not build up. They're playing the victim card instead of the victor. They're keeping score. She did this to me. She did this to me. She did this to me. I'm writing her off. I'm never putting up with that again. And here's the thing about me that's a blessing and a curse. You can walk all over me and rip my heart out and tell the whole world that I'm a scam artist and an asshole and whatever you want to do. And what's really odd about me, I think it's my grandma's spirit, actually. I think it's an old soul inside of me. I don't think this is my first trip around the world. I can see that person and literally want to help them. I literally want to help them. I did it this week with a kid in our small town that everybody else would say, like, do you have a restraining order? Or like, what's the goal here? What's the plan? And I'm like, I wish I could just help this person. And from me to you, you've got to get focused on this heart that's inside of you and how it's beating and the vibration that's happening in your body. And the real question to you is it all love all the time? Because that's God, and he's right inside of you right now. Your little child inner self that needs to forgive and let go and vibrate light, because you're human comes from the word hue. Dave, when Dave said this to me today, I was like, oh my gosh. And the notes are in my phone from our talk that made me late to this, but I can't look at my notes and stay live. So I don't know what the laws were, but we were really discussing them. And I mean, if I go flip the light switch, the light's coming on because there's electricity. You are that. Every single thing from the time you were in your mama's womb and you were a little baby, we were talking about this pineal gland, right? It's like less than the size of an almond, and it's growing. And pretty soon you're this beautiful baby that's born, and your heart's beating. And everything you've learned since you were held in her arms was that you were good or you weren't. You were good or you weren't. You would believe in yourself or you wouldn't. You would be loved or you would not be loved. You would be successful or you would not be successful. You would be a burden or you would be a blessing. You would be a champion or you would be a loser. Like, we get all these thoughts and all of a sudden we start to live out this life chapter like it's a sentence, like it's your life sentence because of what your dad did or what your brother did or whatever. Here's the thing that I have learned. And this is the secret, guys. It's a simple decision. One day you make a decision. It is a very simple decision. One day you make a decision. I'm going to turn my life around. I'm going to tap into that inner child. God is within me. He's all around me. All I have to do is ask. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open. Ask. Like, if you don't feel like you can do what you need to do to feel good now, I can remember so many times in my life, I would just be like, God, there is no way I can do this on my own. Like, I need you. Have you ever said that to your mom? I love when my kids say that to me. I'm like, oh my God, I love you. I'm right here, right? We are all a family. Here's what you need to understand. I don't care what country people are from, what their belief system is. We all came from the same championship bloodline. And the only difference in one and the other is choices and beliefs. And we take that as truth and a label. Am I going to ace my spelling test, or do I struggle with academics? Am I going to be loved and have a beautiful life, or am I going to be lonely and sad and abused and the victim? Am I going to be healthy and happy and my mental health can be on point, or am I going to be depressed and sad and mad and have anger issues all of my life? Am I going to be clean, or am I going to be an addict? Am I going to be married, or am I going to be the divorcee? Am I going to be the girl of a single dad that never really had a father figure and lonely and not the holidays? And like, I could play that card all day long. Guys, I am the strongest woman in the world because my dad, my life purpose was to be independent. And I had to experience everything I had to experience as a little girl so I could be a badass as a mom and an older woman. Thank God my dad taught me independence. I love him. I forgive him. We talk, right? But there are people that want to play the record over and over and over. They're playing that 33 on auto replay. I didn't have a dad. I was abused. This is what my dad did. This is what my mom did. This is why. Then my husband left. Then I got fired. Then my dumb, stupid job. Like, here's the thing. You can change your life today. The laws of the universe say what you put out, you will get back. Every thought is a prayer. Every prayer is answered. And we are all source energy. We're either going to vibrate at a high level and we're going to attract, and everything is going to be good. Or we're going to vibrate at a low level. We're going to plant low seeds. We're going to get a low harvest, and we're going to live a low life. Now, bad things happen to good people every single day. I got a whole book of them. Do you think I ever thought in a million years that when I was a grandma and I was 54, that I wouldn't live right next to my grandkids and have a whole slew of them, and we would all be happily ever after like my mom and Dave's mom were? Like, we spoiled the heck out of our moms. We never left our hometown. Still live in the same house that we lived in 30 years ago, and we never miss a holiday. Like, family is everything to me. If I ever had a Christmas I couldn't be with my mom, I think I'd die. I think I would just die. Like, my belief system is I've got to be with my mom, my family, my siblings, the people I love. But when I'm not around, I have a daughter in Spain right now with a basketball contract with her husband. I have a son in Arizona right now with beautiful grandkids that I love. And Dave and Brooklyn and I are in Russell, little town in Russell, Kansas. Like, my heart is in all different places. But I don't play a victim card when I see the mom and the grandma that is at every football game, every wrestling match, dropping their kids off at school. Like, I'm happy for them, even if I don't have that right now. How many of you can be happy for someone that has love when you're not loved? How many of you can be happy for someone that's having success when you're sucking hind, you know what? How many of you can be happy for someone moving into a beautiful new home when you've never been able to purchase a new home? See, you got to clap for people that are winning when you're losing, because that energy is what attracts those very things to happen for you. When you have an ego and you are edging God out and you're playing the victim card and you're focused on the negative, you cannot have a good thought. So if our mind cannot have a good and a bad thought at the same time, and there's free food in the dumpster, my husband would say, but we don't have to go climb in the dumpster to get it. I posted this week that I was on the news. I was interviewed by the news. It was funny. Not only was I interviewed, they showed my butt and the back of my feet like 9 times of B-roll in the same, I don't know what was going on there, but KSN News interviewed me this week. I had no idea there was a government shutdown. I had no idea that I should be anxious about getting on this airplane. Thank God I didn't know the negative news. What if I would have canceled my trip because of the news? Can you even imagine if I didn't go, didn't cut any videos, didn't make it here, didn't get to help Chance move, didn't get to see my grandkids, all because someone planted a negative seed in my mind? Oh, you better be careful. You could get stranded. You should probably drive, take your dog and everything. They're going to close down the airports and you're not going to be able to get back home. Some people would argue with me, Barb, you need to know what's going on in the news. No, I don't, because I got 55 family members watching the news that'll call me and tell me everything that's going on. I can't do what I do and watch that. I can't do what I do and be the girl that when you're at dinner with me at 10:30, you're like, man, I wish I had your energy. I'm going to be the light. I'm going to show up. I'm going to be the light. I'm going to brainwash you into believing that you can be and do and have anything that you ever dreamt of. But you need to think about the laws of the universe, because you're not going to attract good when you're putting out bad. Gossip is the cancer that destroys. Tearing people down and talking about them instead of, we don't talk about people around here. I don't care what they did to us. I will never say anything bad about someone, even if they did bad. Good morning, Lola. Because I'm sowing seeds of all love, authenticity. I'm being the light. I'm bringing it every single day. I'm co-creating with you a life that we dream of, where we feel good now, where we build people up, where we're building a massive empire, a legacy company, if you will. You're writing your book. You're paying off your debt. You're moving into your dream home. You have better friends than you've ever had in your life. Your health is on point. Your energy off the chains. Your brain, your ideas, you've never had business ideas like this. You're taking action on them because like, you know, you're going to win. All you do is win, 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 no matter what, right? But you can't feel that way. The laws of the universe say we will be energy. Everything around us, our environment, everything we take in, everything we think and read and eat and believe, we will put out. So big question for all of you. What are you putting in? God is within every single one of you. That is your heart. It's the strongest muscle in your whole body. You got to make it work. You got to exercise it every day. You've got to be putting in good stuff. You've got to let go of the baggage that you're carrying around so you don't have to have that heart pumping it 4 hazes, right? That's what makes it give out. People want to say, take all these medications that relax your muscles. Just keep in mind, your heart is the strongest muscle in your body. Ain't no way I'm ever taking something to relax that. Your heart needs to be full of love, forgiveness, belief, energy, focus, light. Go outside today and take a walk. Forget about everything going on in your life. Don't think about your title, your job, your income, your rank, your marital status, your financial status. Don't think about any of it. I just want you to go on a walk today. This is your assignment. And I want you to think about what you want, what you really, really want. And I want you to start acting as if you already have all that. Don't think about the title, the name of the company, the job you have, where you live, your last name, none of that. Who you're married to, how many kids. Just go on a walk and say, if I could have the life of my dreams, every day I woke up, what would I want to do? If this was my last 2 weeks, my last 2 years, what would I want to do? Because I guarantee it's not what you're doing. Because nobody thinks it's going to be their last 2 weeks or their last 2 years. When I go on a walk and I think about what I want, I only focus on what I want because that is what I'm going to get. I'm giving that power. Your words have power, your thoughts have power, and your actions is what really brings the power. Release everything. Forgive everyone. Go on a walk, soak up the light, and say, I'm going to live the life of my dreams. I am going to tap into the laws of the universe, and God is inside of me. And I am going to ask for help. I'm going to seek and I'm going to find. I'm going to knock and the door is going to be open. And this is a new chapter because my past was just a chapter. It wasn't a life sentence. I love you guys. I love showing up on Saturday mornings. I appreciate all of you that tune in. I didn't have a lot of preparation today. I was playing grandma last night. We were making a YouTube video on roller skates. I don't know if you're ever going to see it, but me and Lola were laughing as hard as we could on roller skates, running around this apartment that we're moving out of into this house. And we were making a video of like, oh my gosh, mom and dad are coming home. And you run through the whole house on roller skates and you pick up everything and you throw it. And then you're like, hi, dad. Hi, mom. And it's so funny. But do you know what? It's her childlike spirit. It's when you're 7 or 8 years old and nothing else matters. And you can just be crazy and use your imagination. And you can laugh and you can love and you can live and you can forgive because you have a childlike spirit inside of you. I urge all of you, tap into that childlike spirit. Focus on that one muscle that's the strongest muscle in your body. You are the light. Go outside, soak all of that up and say, what would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? And then believe that you can do it because God wouldn't put that dream in your heart if you couldn't have it. And I'm telling you, the energy you bring when you walk in the room is contagious. And it's either going to be good contagious or a bad. But for me, when I leave the room, I want you to say, damn, I want more of that. I can't get enough of her energy. And some of you are like sunshine. Like when you leave, the whole place brightens up. Think about that. Dave and I always make a joke. When there's someone in the room that just lowers the whole energy and they leave, we're like sunshine, right? They don't know what they don't know. They need to be loved. They need to be built. They need to be told. They need to be encouraged. They need that confidence. They need a mentor. You be that light for somebody. You have it in you. All you got to do is step into it. So you guys have an amazing day. I'm enjoying a rainstorm. We're going to make some soup. We're going to do a corporate call. We're going to get some boxes and we're going to pack and we're going to have a move-in party this weekend. So I'm going to take a little bit of time off and so that I can be with my family. But I'm telling you guys, I love you. I sow into you every single day. I believe in you and you can do and have and experience anything you dream if you will. Have a good day.